Hi, Adrian. Here's your watch. Thank you for your patience, by the way. Took me just a second to get things done here. Well, it's a watch. As I said in my email to you, the minute counter hand is not, that's the little subregister, lower subregister, is not working because the pinion and the wheel on the minute counter wheel have come apart. So one is spinning, the other is not. You can't really see it, but it's right here. This port, this little pivot right here, that's the bottom end of the pivot, the shaft, the pinion that the hand sits on the other side of the underside of the dial. And that is pushed through a brass tooth wheel. You maybe can see a little bit of it here. And that they're sitting in it to each other, but they're not communicating. So that's fine. Let's talk about the numbers. It's not running badly. I mean, 233, and it's relatively clean. It has some beat error, and it's losing some time. It's low, but it's not terrible. And so when I first looked at the numbers, I was like, oh, that's not terrible. It's not bad. And I know that he had paid money to have this thing serviced. Your father had paid money to have it serviced. The numbers aren't terrible, but then I opened it. You can't really see it, but I can certainly see it under magnification. There are little hairs everywhere, all through this thing. There's sort of this wash of sort of yellowish oil here. There's a big owl hair right there, and there's another one right here. There's a hair of fiber, a clean white fiber that's right here. It's sort of stuck to the movement, and it just tells me that it wasn't cleaned in a clean environment. So, I mean, that's an issue. Again, the numbers aren't bad. It's up to you. I can do just a little surface clean, and I can replace this wheel and make that work. But you talked about it having a very poor power reserve. Now the numbers are low. It could well be that one of the things they did not do is something that has to be done when you're servicing an old Seiko, which is to clean the mainspring out. You can't just lubricate the shoulders of the mainspring arbor. The mainspring arbor is like the axle that the mainspring barrel turns on. And so, you can't really see it. Underneath that screw is the mainspring. It's this flat disc-like barrel. And it rotates on the shaft that the screw is sitting in. So, if you're not really doing the job right, what people do is they'll just lubricate the shoulders of that shaft to make it easier for the thing to turn. The problem is the barrels are filled full of old grease, old nasty dry grease, and it sucks up all kinds of power. So if you're having really poor power reserve, my first thought was that they probably didn't clean that mainspring out, because people who aren't Seiko people may not know to do that. And also we know that they put it back together and they didn't make sure that the minute counter wheel worked properly, which was kind of silly of them. But I don't know, it's up to you. If it were me, based on the hairs and the extra weird brown lubrication and the lower amplitude and the lack of power reserve, dying in 12 to 15 hours, it's no good. I would just service the thing. But it's up to you what you want done. I'll do as much or as little as you'd like. Let's talk about cosmetics.